It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
What have they taught us?
So much.
So much, absolutely.
And hopefully they've taught our listeners stuff too.
Yeah, that would be nice to know. What have you learned from our podcast?
If anything.
Maybe that's not a good question to ask our listeners.
I know.
If you want to drop us a message to tell us what you've learned from the podcast, other than Lauren and LJ are absolutely off their rockers, please.
Lauren and LJ are absolutely off their rockers.
See, I'm off my rocker. Do you know, I'm having one of those weeks where I'm really tired. I think you said that a couple of episodes ago. Like, normally when we're recording this, you're really tired. Mm-hmm. But I really am tired. I am so tired.
Okay, I feel like that's your excuse.
No, I'm really tired. Is it half term yet?
Nearly.
Oh, please God, no.
Nearly, I know.
Yeah, no, if you have something interesting that you've learned from us, do let us know in the messages. We know that I'm off my rocker, so you don't need to tell us that.
Yeah. Do you know what? We're just some friends having fun. We've still got our executive producer here to keep an eye on us.
To keep us right. He might be stepping in at any point. However, I feel like I've lost the chair already.
I know. Aren't you raging?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, look at the look you're giving him.
The executive producer sitting in his fancy chair. I'm back to my normal chair. It didn't last long, did it?
No. No. You could use the other one, but you have chosen not to.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that one over there. Yeah, we've started now. We may as well just continue.
I mean, do you want to kick him out of his chair?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to go. He does taekwondo. But I do tap dancing.
2, 3, 4.
No, it's actually 5, 6, 7, 8. You never start with the 2, 3, 4.
Oh, you're letting us down here.
Call yourself a musical theatre executive producer.
I don't. You seem to call me that for some reason.
I just like the ring it has. Like, it's got a nice wee sound to it. Anyway, how's your week? Are you tired or are you okay?
Well, I feel like we kind of got over a really big celebration there.
But I think this is partly due to my tiredness is due to it. It's been a very busy time.
It really has. Yeah, we, Caitlin and Jamie, guests on one of our episodes when we talked about Greece, got married.
Yeah.
And it was a lovely day.
Good day.
Really good day. But you just know, everything that comes with weddings and the wedding, you're just tired.
Yeah.
We're not young anymore. And I hear you were putting away those cocktails
I was on catch up and it was also a Friday, so I was like, yay, it's Friday. So I was inhaling the porn star martinis.
But they were amazing.
They were delicious, but thankfully alcoholic content not too bad, which meant I was absolutely fine. I had stage go the next day, so...
Also, you nearly had a fight with the bartender.
Me? Yeah.
It was the funniest encounter I have ever witnessed. So... we had ordered some porn star martinis and Timothy was chatting away and he had drank some, and anybody that drinks porn star martinis will know that there is passion fruit, half a passion fruit in the top.
Yeah.
So the shape of the glass, it looked like Timothy was finished, but he wasn't. It was just the passion fruit was sort of hiding the alcohol that was underneath it. And the bartender picked the glass up thinking it was empty. As he's in the middle of drinking a fresh one, he goes, wait, bring that back.
I nearly dived over the bar after that glass.
And that is not an exaggeration.
No, and also the way you've now told that story makes me sound like I'm an alcoholic.
And
I'm really not.
it was just so funny.
Yeah, no, I wasn't impressed when she went to take my half-finished
And
martini
I think
away.
She was petrified.
Yeah, I think my reaction was larger than I realised it was. I thought I was just going, no. But I think I knew.
You were flicking her.
I did not flick. I was like, no, bring that back.
He's just done the hand movement.
It was more of a shimmy hand. Shimmy, give me that.
Maybe she heard that you did tap dancing and she was afraid. And then whenever she seen the shimmy hand, she thought she was at the start of a number. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well done, you're learning very quickly. They're lucky I wasn't on the bar tap dancing, to be fair. No, I was very well behaved.
You were.
Everybody was very well behaved. Everyone looked beautiful. Caitlin, the bride, was gorgeous. Yeah. As were you. I thought you looked super stunning.
Thank you, that's lovely.
You did, and we got a beautiful photo, didn't we?
We did. We did really get lovely. A beautiful, and I remember when the photograph was being taken, being like, this person understands camera angles.
Who took? I can't remember who took it.
I can't remember. But I was like, oh.
I think it's one of the best photos that's ever been taken of us together.
I think it might come out for years and years.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say every birthday, Christmas, anniversary, it'll be flying out.
Absolutely. That'll be it's a very good one. And also Musical Lyrical Lingo got a few little mentions.
So I hear.
Yeah, it was mentioned in the best man's speech, which I was delighted about, but you weren't there at that point because you were working.
No, I had to work.
But yeah, it was like, whoop.
We've so made it if we're making it into best man speeches.
Also, how many times did you have somebody come up to you and say, I know you from your podcast?
I thought I was a local celebrity.
You kind of were.
Oh, it was lovely. People were very flattering about the podcast. So I know we're off our rockers, but people clearly enjoy that kind of stuff. So
I think so. And it's lovely. It's really nice. So thank you so much for still listening and supporting.
Because, I think if we only have one listener left, we'll still do it because it's really enjoyable just talking nonsense for
But that's what I was saying, even just a couple of... Because that's a great thing about weddings is you get to catch up with people that you haven't seen in ages. Yeah. And I was, we're listening to your podcast, it's great. And I was like, do you know what actually is the best thing? Just getting to see Timothy on a weekly basis.
That's
because that majority of our friendship has been, we'll see you when you're free. Mm-hmm. But this is lovely.
Absolutely. It's why I enjoy it so much.
Oh, and Aaron's in the middle.
And Aaron's in the middle, sitting in a seat. Trying to...
How dare he sit in his own seat?
I know, exactly. I mean, I bought it for myself. Who do you think you are? Anyway, I'm just feeling a bit diva this week. That's what it is. I kind of want the seat back because I'm just throwing my weight around a bit and being a bit of a diva. You are. Because this week's all about the diva. You have diva moments every so often.
Excuse me?
Lord, don't even go there.
Excuse me? I feel like you've just insulted me.
No, I'm just being factual.
Factual? Okay, if you're being factual, then when?
You do not want me to elaborate.
Excuse me?
Because this could be the end of... I could be doing the podcast with Aaron next week.
I mean, I have never had a diva moment.
Are you kidding me? When you were younger, you had diva moments on a regular basis. Every other day was a diva moment for Lauren.
I feel like you're exaggerating.
I feel like I'm telling the truth, which is what...
I feel really insulted.
Oh.
Aaron, why are you not looking? Why are you trying to avoid all eye contact?
I've seen enough TV programmes to say nothing until there's an attorney present.
Oh, shut up. You two are ganging up on me. I don't like this.
Listen, I have held my hands up and said I can be a bit of a diva.
Well, we know that from the episode of Bugsy Malone.
Okay, so she brings that one back. I was 5.
Nobody has come on and said that I have had and been able to, tell stories. Oh. You're just saying.
Oh, are you putting that out there? Because you're very brave. So anybody who knows of a Diva Lauren moment, please feel free to let us know. I will take control of the Instagram messages next week. So I will gather them all and I will come back and name
You're
and shame.
optimistic. Gather them all. Gather them all as if there's going to be more than one. As if there's even going to be one.
Oh, and here cometh the diva. She has arrived in the room. I think it's okay to have diva moments.
I mean, do you mean because...
You're so riled by me right now.
I know, but I mean, I just need to get this clear. Do you mean because whenever I want something done, I want something done there and then? Is that what you're talking about? Or me demanding that people need to do something for me?
I mean, I would say both have happened.
Oh my gosh.
No? And then you've got the screaming and the throwing of things and...
I think you've mixed me up with one of your other friends.
I'm not so sure.
This is a problem whenever we've known each other for over 32 years.
So long. It's fine. We can both have our diva tendencies and that's okay.
And it's okay to disagree. Because I don't think I have any diva moments.
But you're wrong.
Okay. Whatever.
We'll move on because let's talk about some other divas.
Other divas.
This
Did you laugh there in the corner?
I see. Like, you're so... Like, if you weren't a diva, that would not have touched the nerve it's touching. Like, I honestly feel like you're going to throw your phone at me in a minute. Like, I really do. Like,
I'm not. I'm going to sit in my hands and I'm going to prove you wrong that I'm not a diva, never have been and never will be.
but then you'd be boring.
I would
and
be
I
boring.
wouldn't want to be your friend. Oh,
I was told today that I was boring and I had a really boring voice.
nice. You've had a good day in the office, haven't you?
So I've been told I was boring, I have a really boring voice, and you've told me I'm a diva. I'm just going to go to bed. No, I'm not. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You'll get over it.
I'll get over it. Right, let's actually talk about real divas.
Yeah, we're going to talk about... we're going to do one of our wee episodes where we kind of combine three for the price of one this week. And they're actually all jukebox musicals.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. What are your feelings upon on jukebox musicals, Lauren?
So these ones I don't mind because they are telling the story of these people's lives.
Yeah. So it's like a biopic.
Oh, don't start with this word.
Diva.
Don't start.
It's a biopic jukebox musical.
Yes.
I think I've said that right.
Yeah.
Executive producer.
Sounds good.
Thank you. So we're going to talk about... Will we give all three or will we do one at a time? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Tina Turner.
Yep.
Or Tina, the Tina Turner musical. We're going to talk about Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Yep.
And we're also going to talk about the Cher Show, which is Cher's musical.
Yes.
So I also know that the last episode where we did like this par of three, you had a diva fit. And you threw your toys out of the pram over the order in which we do them. So do you know what? I'm going to hand over to you. Which one do you want to do first today, Lauren? Because I can't be doing with the diva.
Could we do Beautiful Tina Cher?
Fine. Whatever you want.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
But I kind of feel like this is the order they should be in.
And why do you feel that?
Because... Oh, but we'll get into it.
Oh, you have reasons, do you?
I do have reasons.
It's not just, you just want it that way.
Shut up.
Okay. I'm glad you said Beautiful first, because of the three, no lies, I've seen two out of the three.
Okay.
But of the three, it's the one I absolutely love. So I haven't seen Tina. To put it out there, first of all, haven't seen Tina yet. Would love to see Tina. I've seen Beautiful, the Carole King musical, and I've seen the Cher Show. And I have two very different opinions and feelings about the two I've seen. But I love Beautiful, so good start.
I have seen all three. But
amazing.
Not live. So,
okay.
We all know what that means.
Yeah. I mean, you're such a great supporter of the musicals.
I mean, it is difficult whenever we're doing three musicals I knew nothing about.
Did you watch them For this episode? Like,
Yes.
you haven't seen
No.
until...
No.
Well, do you know what? You're more committed to the cause than I am.
Yeah.
I do apologise, because I didn't watch an illegal copy of the music...
Yeah. No, well, I needed...
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I needed to...
Allegedly, yeah.
It's great listening to soundtracks, and for a long time, or cast recordings, that's all we could do. But I wanted to see if there was, because sometimes you don't always get the story.
Yeah.
And there was for all three.
Fab.
And yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive on into the first one then. Beautiful, the Carole King musical. So, Jukebox musical with a book by Douglas McGrath that tells the story of the early life and career of the legend that is Carole King. I say that now because I've seen the musical, but I didn't quite know.
Yeah.
It premiered in San Francisco in 2013 before opening on Broadway in 2014 at the Stephen Sondheim Theatre. The show tells the inspiring true life story of how Carole King, born Carole Joan, somebody else's middle name here, Klein, fought her way into the record business as a teenager, writing songs with her then husband, Jerry Goffin, for big name artists including James Taylor, The Drifters and The Beatles. And she then launched her own successful career as a solo artist.
Fab.
Yeah.
And it's only whenever you research the musical, or maybe if you were or are a Carole King fan, she was so young when she wrote some of these songs that you know her work.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
And you're like, you were so little.
And she was a woman.
Yeah.
In the recording business.
And she wasn't writing for female white women.
No.
All the time.
Yeah.
Which is fab.
Like, she is, like, I truly think she is one of those music legends.
Yeah.
Like, and I was ashamed to not have known who she was before going to see the musical, and that's like one of my musical lyrical lingos. I learnt who she was.
Yeah.
And then I came away absolutely enamoured by the musical, and then went and listened to her album Tapestry. Non-stop for no lie, about 4 months. Because she just wowed me.
Yeah.
Like, her as a person, her story, and her music. And then when you hear her actual voice, her voice, and the actresses that played her in the musical were so spot on with her voice. Like, just absolutely stunning. The show took home two
For 7?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Took home two, one for Best Sound Design and one for Best Actress for Jessie Muller. And again, that's another thing that the show taught me. I had never experienced her.
Oh,
or
okay.
listened to her.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the cast recording and I was like, who is this person?
Yeah.
Like, and now she's a wee musical theatre Broadway star that I follow what she's doing next, because her voice is class.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Beautiful also won the Grammy for Best Musical Theatre Album. And then London production opened in 2015 at the Aldwych, and there's a kind of a cool link with the Aldwych Theatre in London that we'll get onto maybe later. Yeah. Katie Brandon took on the role of Carole with Cassidy Jansen, again another musical theatre singer that I'd never heard of before until I saw her in the show. She then took over from Katie. Katie won the Olivier for the role.
Ooh.
So there you go.
And then did you know that Jessie obviously played her, but then Abby Muller played her? So they are sisters.
No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So they both played Carole King.
In Broadway.
So in Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I think Abby was on the national tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So what did you learn from it?
I learned about Carole King.
Yeah.
And I learned that she wrote some of those famous songs. I love and watch Gilmore Girls on a annual basis.
Okay.
So I know that song, Where You Lead.
Yeah.
But I did not know that was Carole King.
Nope.
No, it does. It's only played in the musical. It's
Okay.
not featured.
Yeah.
But then I learnt more about that song. So whenever she originally wrote it, she wrote it with her husband, and it was about following a man.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever the producers and the creators of Gilmore Girls approached her, she had to think about it because she no longer was feeling that way, that she should follow a man.
Yeah.
Wherever he will go. So she said, if I can re-record it with my daughter, then I'll do it as the title track for Gilmore Girls, which is about a mother and daughter relationship. And now I watch it with my daughter, and we sing that song often.
I've flicked past Gilmore Girls a couple of times. I might have to give it a watch.
I love it. There's some people that really don't like it, don't like that relationship, but I do love it, and it's something that we watch quite often.
That's cute.
So I didn't that's something that I've watched forever, and I didn't know that she was singing that. She's also featured in Gilmore Girls.
Oh, is she?
So,
that's cool.
I've seen her from that. I've heard of her name about, but I didn't know her story. Yeah. I didn't know about her songwriting duo, the 4 songwriters together, what they did. I think the musical is beautiful.
Yeah, it is what is in the title. Yeah. I agree. That's how I felt about it too. Yeah. I just thought, wow. And it was the first, this sounds really awful, but it was the first jukebox musical that I saw that I thought there was an element of class to it.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, it was. I think, was it maybe because it was the first apart from Buddy Holly, which I saw on my P7 trip to London. I think it was the first musical I remember seeing myself as a kid. But apart from that, I think it was the first jukebox musical that was about the person's story. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't just a musical with song, well-known music songs thrown in. And I just thought that was really class and special and beautiful.
And I think because obviously it's a telling of her life, so when she wrote the music would have been at those stages in her life, you can see that journey and her maturity. Yeah. And the version that I seen, I almost thought it was a different actress. But it was just clever. How they were able to portray her as a young girl, and then whenever she's just grown up a bit. Yeah, and I was the same as you. It was interesting to just see what the recording business was like for writers back then, and the kind of competition and the pitching of the songs. And there was 2 partnerships at that time. There was Carole King and her then husband, Jerry Goffin, and then Barry Mann and Cynthia Ward. And although they were pitching against each other to get, their song taken on by artists, they were really close-knit. They were a really close-knit foursome. Yeah. Sorry, maybe not necessarily understood each other, but they understood the business that they were in. And what they were there to do. They were there to create music. Yeah. And create a piece of magic, I suppose, for somebody then to go on and perform it. Yeah. And then it was littered with songs that I had heard before, that had been in pantomimes that we had done, and we shows where you pull songs have been pulled from anywhere and everywhere. So I didn't realise that Up on the Roof, that when this soul world starts getting me down. I love that song. Okay. Didn't know it was a Carole King. Yeah. The Locomotion. Yeah. I thought was a Kylie song. I know. I didn't know that was her. I genuinely thought Kylie Minogue that was an original. Yeah. No. By the way, shout out to Kylie, because her brand new album is sublime. I haven't said that word for a wee while, have I? No. It's one of the best she's ever done. And same with On Broadway. Oh. On Broadway. Yep. I didn't know that was a Carole King. I didn't know One Fine Day, and I love that. One Fine Day. So that... Have you got any more musical lyrical lingos before I say what I'm about to say? I just know that she collaborated with James Taylor on You've Got a Friend. You've Got a Friend. Yep. And did she work with Simon of Simon and Garfunkel? I think she did, yeah. Yeah. Before he was Simon and Garfunkel. I don't think that appears in the musical, no, but I think she did, yeah. Okay, yeah. Right with that. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. That's all I have. Well, One Fine Day you mentioned. Yeah.
That's my standing ovation.
Oh.
It comes right at the very end of Act 1, where basically her husband has kind of gone wayward and is basically gone off with another recording artist. So it starts with that recording artist, like, performing it for TV. So it's like the TV cameras are there, and then she takes over it and she starts to sing it, and she, like, lets rip in it, and it's like her heart's being ripped out of her chest. It's like, oh, Carole, we love you. I cried when I saw Beautiful.
A lot of people do. A lot of people, I've heard that. But what I loved about, and maybe it could have just been the way I was watching it, I thought that the way that relationship was played out was so loving.
Oh, like, they still loved each other, but it just, the partnership no longer worked, as in the writing partnership and the marriage. Like, it just...
Yeah. And it wasn't like, I was going, oh, you're such a horrible man, and how could you have done that? And yes, I was like, oh, that's terrible that they're no longer together and he's not being honest with her and all of that. But I was like, yeah, that's just kind of just not working anymore.
And you kind of saw it coming, like, you knew what was going to happen, and you were just like, don't you dare, you dare. And then he did, and it was like, oh.
But then, was that the catalyst to make her be the solo artist?
100%.
Like, 100%. So if that didn't happen, then she wouldn't have been able to stand up for herself and go, no, I'm going to record these songs myself. I'm tired of writing for somebody else.
Kicked her out of her comfort zone, and because she didn't want to perform herself.
No, well, she was also not. That's not expected of you.
True. Yeah, true. And it wasn't until somebody went. I can't remember what song it is, and that's really bad of me. But wasn't she? They were struggling to find somebody that it was suitable for, and then was it Cynthia Wheel? Sorry, it's not Ward. It's Barry Mann and Cynthia Wheel.
Oh,
were the other writing partnership. But I think it might have been her. Went, well, why don't you record it?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
and she did, and then that was it. I can't remember what the song is though.
We'll find it.
We'll find it. But there you go. That is beautiful, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, but actually, I've seen it, come to the Opera House and things like that, and I haven't been interested in going, but...
Yeah, I saw that one,
okay.
And I think it's probably... I mean, it was great, and the girl who played her was fantastic, but they went actor muso on it, so the actors were playing the instruments on stage. I mean, very creative and lovely, but I think I preferred the original that I saw in the Old Witch. Okay. And that's just my personal opinion.
Well, it certainly has made me go, if that comes, I might go and watch it. I would be actually intrigued to see a performance of it. And I think she wasn't originally, not that she wasn't a fan of the music, but she had no input whenever it was first created.
Right, yeah.
But then she did, and I think actually they raised quite a lot of money whenever she came on. And I think it's like, I think I do actually have the facts and the figures there. So
that is a class moment when she came on in her own musical and YouTube. Sat down on the piano and oh my goodness.
So it was in 2014. She caused an emotional scene when she surprised the cast at curtain call. She praised the production and offered an impromptu performance while singing the duet with Jessie, and the duo raised £30,000, which was donated to charity.
Amazing. I
mean, she has, become quite an activist as well. Mm-hmm. And she would speak out a lot about different issues. And, I think...
No, I think as a woman, she is amazing. Like, I'm a big fan.
She's impressive.
She is impressive. Another really, because I know you love your YouTube clips.
I do.
Another great one is when she was honoured at the Kennedy honours. Yeah. And Aretha Franklin.
I know, because
sat down and Natural Woman.
Natural Woman.
You make me feel.
She wrote that.
Yes,
she wrote that.
I know. And it's just like, first of all, seeing Aretha, because it was, she was much older when she performed it, and she sat at the piano and she played it herself, and she had the big fur coat. Like Aretha herself was like diva.
Yeah.
But then to watch Carole King's reaction to her singing her song, like, was just amazing. Like, it's a class. I've rewatched that a couple of times. Yeah. I'm a wee YouTube binges. Yeah. Never watched illegal recordings of film musicals, though. Allegedly. Thanks, Aaron. Okay.
So that was good.
Lovely way to go. Yeah. We might go for downhill. What are we doing next? Tina.
Oh, have we fact for you? Just before we wrap up. Carole King, she wrote or co-wrote 118 pop hits on the Billboard Hot 100.
That's unbelievable.
118.
She's insane.
Incredible.
That is amazing.
Do you like Tapestry, Aaron?
Do I like what, sorry?
Tapestry. Her Tapestry album.
No, never heard it.
You need to listen to Tapestry.
While I'm sitting here, I was looking at some of the songs that she did write, and I'm surprised in the amount that I was familiar with.
Yeah, that's it. Right. You don't realise.
Take good care of my
baby.
And I think that's what it is. There's not necessarily a style that you can go, oh, that's definitely Carole King.
Yeah.
But once you know it, you're like, oh, that's a Carole King song, yes.
And like I love another one of my favourite. We could just do the whole episode on Carole. Another one of my favourite moments is when she's in the the rehearsal room and they're like playing about on the piano, and then she describes the instrumental of the song as like raindrops. She's like, and then it goes dip drop, dip drop, dip drop. What song was that? It'll come to me. Anyway, so that's our Carole.
Okay, so then we have Tina,
we're moving on to Tina. So, the Queen of Rock and Roll. The Jukebox musical features the music of Tina Turner and depicts her life from her humble beginnings in Nutbush, Tennessee. That was my Tina impression.
Here.
I know, I tell you. Just give me the wig. I got the thighs for it. To her transformation in the rock and roll star.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
got Jim's pen off.
you're a wee minx for making me do the background info this week, because there's loads of names here that I cannot pronounce. So it was directed by Philidia Lloyd. The book was by Katori Hall, Frank Kittler, and Keys Prince. I'm sure none of those people listen to our podcast, but I apologise if you do.
Kettler, I think.
Frank Kettler. Okay. And the music had its world premiere on the 17th of April 2018 in what London theatre?
The Aldwych?
In the Aldwych Theatre.
Oh.
So 2 out of our 3 musicals this week had its London opening in the Aldwych. And then the Broadway production opened on the 7th of November 2019. I thought that was interesting that Tina Turner, the musical opened in London before it opened in Broadway.
And it went London, Germany, Broadway.
Oh, why? Okay. Yeah. But she was massive in Germany, wasn't she? Yeah. And then on the 16th of December... Sorry, lies. On the 16th of December in 2016, there was a workshop presentation done, which took place with Tina Turner in attendance.
Shut up.
Can you imagine how they must have been feeling in that workshop?
Whoa.
Yeah, so Tina was there, unlike Carole for her musical. Yeah. Tina was there right from the beginning to kind of just have a wee look over things, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose because Tina has done a lot Tina did a lot about her story. Mm-hmm. You know, there was books, there was films. So this, they say, is a Tina story.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily in the order that things happened or exactly how.
Oh, interesting.
So I think a really interesting fact, and I will find it because I have it.
Whilst you're doing that, I'll continue. So the musical received generally positive reviews, with particular praise for Adrian Warren, sleepy, in the title role. She was described as a whirlwind performance, astonishing, and the show was critiqued as biopic musicals go. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah. So it says that Tina isn't as in Tina the musical, isn't the first retelling of her life, because she wrote many, but it almost didn't happen after writing her latest autobiography, My Love Story, in 2018, and lending her story to the 1993 film. She didn't want to relive any of the low moments that she had, which is just, whenever you think about that poor woman.
I mean, her story is particularly horrific in many places, and that was probably what I learnt most when I looked into the musical, to be honest with you.
So she didn't want to relive things with Ike in particular, but it was the producers who convinced her that, you know, she had this story to tell, and there's no one else to tell them the story. There's no one else to tell them the story because everyone is gone. You know, that's what they, you know, it's important to tell your story and allow it to be done in different mediums. Yeah. And then she was just like, I just got involved. And she also did want Ike in the musical to have a bit of a humanity about him. That's the only place where there's a little bit of a difference. Right, compared to the film and some of the books. Yeah. There's a little bit of a...
But he was
awful. I know. I'm like... Yeah, I know.
Well, maybe it wasn't awful in the beginning. Nobody really knows because we weren't there. But like, yeah. Adrienne. Now that I'm saying her name right, Adrienne Warren, who played Tina Turner. She played both originally in London and then in Broadway. Wow. And interestingly, she didn't. She was nominated for the Olivier, but she didn't win it. But she did win the Tony. Oh, did she? She won the Tony for Best Female. Yeah. 12 Tony nominations in total, and only one win for Adrienne.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There were 3 Olivier nominees, and actually Kobna Holdbrook-Smith won Best Male Actor for his portrayal of Ike Turner.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah. So there's your background. What did you learn from any musical lyrical lingos from watching your illegal copy?
Allegedly. I think just that hardship. I kind of knew about Tina Turner, and you know she passed away not that long ago. Yeah. So there was, you know, there has been quite a lot about her in recent months. I've never seen the film What's Love Got to Do with It. I've never seen that.
No, not me.
But yeah, I think the musical really does capture that raw, gritty, emotional side.
100%.
I think especially from when she's a little girl and maybe her background, but the fact that, you know, she was a successful artist, but yet once, you know, she left him, she had to start from scratch, and you're like, how could they not see that she had this talent? And she was like pretty much singing dive bars in Vegas, wasn't she, in the 80s? Yeah. And she couldn't get a solo contract, because she was like nearly 40, or she was in her 40s, and she was a black woman, and you're like, but look what she's done, you know, just I think it was the how much power one person can have over another, you know, and like he took everything from her.
Interesting. I think everybody, when they hear about Tina Turner and Ike Turner, know of that kind of relationship, that it wasn't good, but I wasn't aware of her relationship with her mother and how that was. And I didn't know that, first of all, when she was born, she was called Anna Mae Bullock. So if that ever comes up in a table quiz, we're on it. But when she was 11 years old, her mother Zelma left without warning, seeking freedom from her abusive relationship. I wasn't aware of that, but to like walk out and leave your little girl, like. And then another thing I learned that I didn't know about Tina at all until I listened to the soundtrack was the very first track, and then throughout at different parts in the musical cast recording, there's like Buddhist chants. Humna Ray, I don't want to say it, but because I don't know it properly. But there's these like Buddhist chants, and I didn't realise that Tina Turner was a Buddhist and had turned to Buddhism. When the show opens with Tina chanting, I've written it down, Nam Mor Re Yang. That was close, I think. It's a devotion. Oh, listen to you, diva. Can you try any better? Can you do any
No.
better? Yeah, okay. It's that chant is a devotion to the mystic law of the Locus Sutra. She was raised a Baptist, and then obviously several events in Tina Turner's life caused her to question what she had been taught, and instead Tina Turner credits Buddhism and its chanting with saving her life and giving her a sense of calm.
Yeah.
Which is why it's such a big part
of the musical.
of the musical, yeah.
Yeah, because at the beginning I just thought that it was just Baptist church music that was them just being played, but just shows you again, you just can't take anything
From a cast recording.
Yeah.
No, that's it. I took quite a lot from the cast recording, to be honest. Another thing that amazes me about all these amazing singers, and Tina Turner is another one, is that she's just another one of these superstar singers who started singing in church.
I know.
Like Whitney, Aretha, they all were kind of the same, you know, in the show. From the moment you see Anna May at a church meeting at the beginning of the show, it's clear that she's moved and inspired by the music, and you get I got that from the cast recording, you know.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Sure did. I did, actually. I would love to see it, actually, because I think I would enjoy it.
Okay.
And I love Tina's music. To be honest, I don't know why I haven't seen it yet. I think just because any other time I've been in London, there's been other shows
Something
that I've
else
been more dying to see.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, Tina's there. Tina will be there, I would think, for a while. I mean, it has been. You know, it's proved its time. But maybe I'm now gambling a bit too much, and that it's always going to be there, and I'll probably get a notice next week and I'll be like, I haven't seen it yet, it can't come off.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and again, it could have been just the version that I seen. There was parts of it which gripped me, but I didn't go, beautiful, I would definitely go and see that.
Yeah.
You know, so, but maybe it's because I felt like I knew her music, while with Carole, I feel like I need to go and learn more.
Yeah.
So it didn't make me want to go and do much more research.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Any stand ovations from your bootleg?
Just whoever was playing Tina was, I think, just again that raw emotion at the beginning of the relationship, and then how she just picks herself back up on just that voice and everything.
Yeah. And you can't beat a Proud Mary or a River Deep Mountain High, right?
No. And that dancing.
Ooh, I love you. You haven't seen me doing a Tina. That's all I'm saying.
Did you ever do a Tina at like some sort of...
Okay, why did you have to bring that up?
Did you? Was it a Tina?
Through my years in stage school, I've done most of the divas.
Yeah, and you called me a diva.
Listen, I was fully honest. I think I've donned a Tina Turner wig at some point.
Definitely.
I would say that would have been me. Yeah, I was probably only 7 or 8 as well, but I for sure did that at some point. I definitely have connections to our last diva today. But yes, I probably did a Tina in my time.
Yeah, you definitely did. I'm sure there's picture evidence.
Well, I was about to say, if anybody has picture evidence or video footage, keep it yourself, okay? Because we don't want that crawling out of the woodwork. Thank you very much.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. All right.
Okay.
The last one. Roger Cher.
Oh my
Cher.
God.
If I could turn back time.
Okay. Just do the background on this, please.
If I could find a way. Okay, the Cher Show. I love Cher. Jukebox musical, shock horror. With the book by Rick Ellis that tells the story of the life and career of Cher, using songs that she performed throughout her career. Now, interestingly for this one, you know these biopics like to do them a wee bit different, don't they? The part of Cher is played by 3 different actresses.
Yes.
Which is, like, on paper, quite cool. Interesting. One portraying her in the 1950s and 60s, and that Cher was given the name as Babe in the show.
Okay.
So that's Babe. Then another portrays her in the 1970s, and she's called Lady. And then the final, Cher, is documents Cher in the 1980s, 90s, and she's called Star. I know which one I'd want to be.
Oh.
And the three interact with each other and kind of like help each other out at various times. So even if it's like, you know, something that's going on in the 1950s, 60s, like the Star Cher, the older Cher, is kind of there going, don't worry, babe. Things will be fine.
Okay,
That was a terrible impression. The musical had a lab. How many different ways can you call a workshop?
I know,
Right?
lab.
It was a lab in 2017 in New York City, followed by a premiere in Chicago.
Yes, I know.
In 2018, and then opened in Broadway in December 18, playing its last show in August 2019. Didn't last long, did it?
Yeah.
An overhauled, that's one word for it, production was launched by Leicestershire Curve in 2022, and then that kind of production embarked on a UK tour. 3 Tony noms walked away with Best Costume, and Stephanie J. Block won for Best Actress. And we talked about her in our Wicked episode. Mm-hmm. She was to be Elphaba until Dina Menzel pushed her down the stairs.
That's right.
Yeah, she played Star Cher.
Yeah, I mean, 34 of her songs are featured in the show.
Yeah, and like Cher songs are class.
I love a good Cher song. I do.
It's in his kiss. That's where it is. Oh yeah, it's in his kiss.
Did you know that Cher's not the only celebrity that is depicted in the show?
Yeah, Sonny.
Sonny is there, Bono is there,
Yeah,
and Lucille Ball.
I mean, I have seen it. They passed me by.
I mean,
Did you learn anything from the musical when you watched
I
it?
learnt that it should not have been done.
Yes, okay.
I learnt that.
For Cher.
I
Cher
know.
deserves more.
Do you know what? And that's what I think the problem is. The fact that there's 34 of the songs are featured in a show, that is a lot for a musical.
Yeah.
Right? So 34 songs. I literally feel that they went, let's just throw everything at it instead of...
Everything and nothing.
Yeah, as in there's no clear plot. No. There's a telling of her life.
Yeah.
But there's no clear, like, what was the point in this? Like...
Yeah.
I think it should only ever be done in a cabaret setting.
Like a tribute
Yes.
concert type thing. Yeah.
It is not a musical.
I think that's what it kind of ended up being, but then it just got a bit muddied because they were trying to make a musical of it. Here's what I learned, right? Because I want to give Cher a moment. Okay, so I learned that Cher was actually painfully shy early on in her life.
Yes.
And here's this legend who's done it all, but still, late into her career, was scared to walk on stage on her own. Like, that blows my mind that someone so accomplished and amazing was still so self-conscious. So I learned that. I didn't know that, Cher was massive on TV. Like
the Cher Show.
Yeah, the Cher Show and Sonny and the Cher Comedy Hour. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing, that Sonny and Cher, when the music started to dry up, they went, let's go and do like was it a Saturday night or a Friday night, like TV kind of.
Like families sort of gather around the TV and
that ran for years, and like that was really popular. I wasn't aware that Sonny and Cher were really famous, and then their career just like drove off a hill, and like they were actually really poor, and they had no money, and they struggled to pay for anything. Like, I didn't realise.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
There was a real big hardship there at that time in her life. I didn't know that. Bang bang, he shot me down. Bang bang was a Cher song. Had no idea until I heard it in the musical, and I went, that's Cher? Like, genuinely, I'd said that out loud. Because at that point, most people around me had fallen asleep, so it didn't matter if I spoke out loud in the theatre. A great line from the musical that I loved was Cher's mother at one point tells her that she should marry a rich man.
Yes.
And she says to her mum, she goes, "Mama, I am a rich man." That's a terrible Cher
I did
impression.
like that, what I seen, that interaction between the mum and baby Cher.
Yeah.
I thought that was a real loving relationship, and it came across, which made me feel warm inside that that's how maybe she did have that sort of relationship with her mum. I just could not get over Star Cher standing in the corner being like, "I saw with the lunchbox," or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, why are you commentating on every single...
Yeah.
Like, we don't need that as audience members. We do not
We're not
need this.
stupid.
We can see what's happening. The actors are doing their job. Stop commenting on every single thing.
And the show, obviously, because it goes through her career, so it goes through a passing of time. At the start, like, they were to show where they, like, what year we were in. Like, they did really cool things to show the year, right? So 19 such and such, it would appear somewhere, like, in really cool ways. But then even that got tiresome towards the end. It was like, flip's sake, here we go, another date. How are they going to do this one? So I liked it to start with, and then it just got a bit tiresome, and I thought the show got a little bit slow in that a lot happened in Cher's life in the beginning of her career, and then there was not much to tell, but yet they were kind of going in 1 year intervals, and I'm like, okay, we're going to be here until midnight if this is the way this is going. Do you know what I mean? So I just, it began to drag.
Do you not feel it gives off A-level drama performance? As in,
now, Lauren,
can
you just cast your memory back to our A-level drama?
What I mean.
Because
we were awesome.
We were better than the Cher show.
But yeah, what I mean is, were you, especially those pieces where we were given a picture and you had to create something.
Yeah.
And you did so much work at the beginning, and then you were like, I need to put all of this in it. And, you know, so at the beginning it felt like we've got all this enthusiasm, and then at the end you're like, we're still going. Or those little shows that you would have put on for your mum and dad, like whenever you were 4 or 5, and you were like, no, there's still another act.
I know.
Like, even now as the kids doing it, you're like, please, I can't see anymore.
And I was cross for 2 reasons.
Okay.
Not cross. Cross is the wrong word. Disappointed, frustrated. One was that I love Cher, and I was like, she deserves better.
Absolutely.
And nothing against the 3 girls that played Cher, because they all did it really well. Like, they were fantastic. But as you say, if they did a Cher tribute show where you split, Cher's catalogue between the 3 of them, they maybe sang the occasional couple of Cher hits together in like cool harmonies and arrangements. Perfect. Great night. Bring the costumes. Do all of that, and it would have been so much more enjoyable than trying to shoehorn Cher's life, especially when it got a bit bland.
Yeah, into a musical.
The second reason it frustrated me was it was one of the first dates I went on, and it was the first date where I was kind of introducing them to what I like to do, and I was like, "This is
my world."
Yeah, welcome to my world. Let's go see a musical. And the musical I chose the blooming thing was Pants. And I just spent the rest of the night going, I'm really sorry, that was really awful. Like, they're not all like that, I promise you. Like, musical theatre is a wonderful, wonderful world.
Definitely
just not
wasn't
for Cher.
The best. One to be introduced to.
I still can't get over it to this day. I'm still embarrassed by it. I really am.
I do remember.
Would it have been better coming to see me play Sonny in the Sonny and Cher show that we did in Stage School one year? Because I tell you what, me and Richard and I, we did a phenomenal I Got You, Babe.
Yeah.
Boo, boo, boo.
I mean, I'm not thinking, which divas did you to not reenact? There was a Lulu, there was a...
You gotta be strong enough to walk up through the night. Yeah. Did take that in Lulu, Relight My Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's did it all.
I have done them all.
That is hilarious.
And I'm proud of it.
I do feel sorry for that musical. But I don't think we can call it a musical. I think it's a show.
Okay. So I think we should end this episode by giving a little bit of positivity to Cher.
Cher is wonderful, and Cher's music is wonderful. And her story, there's a story there. Just what they have done with it,
yeah, you're right,
doesn't work. So let's go back to the lab and let's try and
resuscitate, or like emergency.
Yeah, or just let's just go back to basics.
Okay, I do like that they put "You haven't seen the last of me," and you don't know that song, do you? But I know that song because it was one of her late ones, because she sang it in the film Burlesque.
Oh.
And I love it.
They are.
This is what I'm going to say.
Okay,
so exciting.
Yes.
So I'm glad to put it into the musical because I love that song. Mm-hmm. But apparently Christina Aguilera is in works producing Burlesque, the musical.
I know. We went to see that.
Yes,
together.
At the cinema. Yeah. So that will be an epic musical if they do it right and they get the right team behind it.
Absolutely.
It's perfect for musical treatment.
Yeah.
So that's positive.
Yes,
Cher will get her. And imagine if Cher appeared in it. She could still play that role.
She could.
Like, she could.
Yeah. Oh, no, Cher is wonderful. All of them are wonderful, and they're all wonderful in their own ways. And I think it's just an example of some musicals work, and jukebox musicals, I have a real thing about that. I'm just not sure about jukebox. Even though doing this podcast, we found out that 42nd Street is actually technically a jukebox musical.
I mean, it's very, very loosely jukeboxy.
But if we're going in those, it is. I just have a problem with I liked Mamma Mia, but at the beginning, it took me a while to warm to Mamma Mia, because again, I thought this was, are we just putting on a show with ABBA music for the sake of it? But
at least there's a storyline to Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And same with Anne Juliet, which is a quite modern jukebox musical. But have you seen the musical?
No,
it's really good.
Okay.
I really loved it. Like, I really loved it. And I think it speaks volumes that it went from West End to Broadway, and it's doing well on Broadway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because Tat won't last.
No. But then it's a lot more American songs, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Pop songs, so maybe that's why it's doing well on Broadway.
But it's still a cheesy jukebox musical.
Yeah. I have a problem with let's just create a musical for the sake of creating a musical, and let's just throw a load of pop songs into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's not lazy, because I understand there's a lot of work that goes into it, but
probably more to try and shoehorn like certain pop songs or well-known songs into a storyline. But yeah, I just
choosing 34 out of her catalogue is a bit much, so we could cut it down. Do you not think so?
No, I
to try and make it a wee bit.
Just give me a tribute show with.
But you said yourself
songs.
You went and watched it, and it was a bit slow.
Yeah, because of all the crap they put in between the songs.
Oh, okay, so you were okay listening to 34 songs?
Oh God, give me your catalogue on repeat.
Okay. Wow.
Do you believe in love after love?
You do a very good impression. Maybe you could do that at the weekend.
I mean, I could put the wig on, it'd be alright. Did you pull a face there, Aaron?
Absolutely not.
I mean, you did.
Absolutely not intentionally.
Dead on. Right, I'm over and out. See you later. Listen.
What?
Next week.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're in for a real treat next week.
I don't even want to say anything else, but then I do at the same time, because I want people to be excited.
Do you know what? I think we just put it out there.
Are you going to say what it is?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we are entering into the Queendom next week.
1000%. We're there. We're in it. Yeah. We're immersed. It's immersive.
What's even more exciting is we're going to have an actual queen.
We are.
Joining us for a chat.
What a chat. What a chat.
It's not Cher.
Could you imagine?
It's the second best thing.
You just come in next week with a Cher wig.
And the Tina Turner thighs. I'm all ready to go.
And the gold hot pants from Rocky Horror.
We're working on that.
It's an image
that we are now leaving our poor listeners with. God help them.
Yeah, I hope you come back
Until next week.
Bye.